Hey folks, this is part of a new little series I'm going to start trying to do, kind of an introduction to my new channel as well. I get a lot of questions from beginner beekeepers, and that's great. I certainly prefer that people would ask questions over go and do something wrong, but at the same time, there comes a point where I'm going to just kick you out of the nest and make you fly on your own. My number one recommendation before you even get your bees is you got to read for months in advance. Get on forums, do your research, try to find other local beekeepers that you can talk to. Join up with the local beekeeper association. Anything you can do to gain knowledge, because the worst thing you can do is just dive in head first, grab some bees, buy them or get them for free, whatever, and just dive in and then not take care of them. I've had it happen before. I've had people call me and tell me, yeah, I bought my bees and, set them up, and I haven't looked at them in 3 months, and now I'm scared of what I might find. Well, that's good reason. You should be scared of what you might find, because you've left those bees feral for 3 months, more or less, and you're probably going to find crooked comb. You're probably going to find all sorts of issues. The one instance where I had a lady actually do that, the hive was honeybound, badly honeybound. And, you can't just set them up. You can't just set it and forget it. Minimal intervention is fine. They are wild animals. They'll take care of themselves. Once a hive is established, monthly inspections, maybe. Some of my hives, yes, I've let them go for 3-4 months without inspections. But I knew what was going on in those hives. I knew they were set up. I knew they were healthy. And I knew that I could, take that gamble. But on setting up a new hive, getting started as a beekeeper, you really need to get in there, every other week or whatever, even maybe once a week, just not too often, to learn, just to observe what the bees are doing and understand what they're doing. So, but getting started, read, gain all the knowledge that you can. The number one book that I recommend, and this is not because I get any sort of kickbacks or anything, it's because it's the book that I bought that I like, and that is The Backyard Beekeeper by Kim Floatham. The author has decades of industry experience from what I understand, very intelligent, and the book is very well written, such that it's not going to put you to sleep trying to read it, but it's got a lot of good graphics, a lot of good information. And as a bonus, in the back of the book, it's got a whole section on recipes, to cook with honey, how to make your own soap, how to make your own lotions, all that good stuff. So, very, very good resource. Just from my own opinion, there's plenty of books out there just like it that are good little handbooks. So, don't just buy the one that I tell you to. But I think they sell on eBay for something like $13. Or not eBay, I'm sorry, Amazon. I think maybe they're $13.50 on Amazon. I sell them at my little beekeeping classes because people have actually asked me to. I didn't originally, but I've had enough people ask for them that I've started doing it. And I sell them for $18, which is basically the cost of buying it online and paying shipping. So, certainly if you can save $5 and somehow get free shipping or whatever you want to do, buy it online, I don't care. But just have it on hand, because it gives you a chance to research, to read through it, figure things out, and then if you do open up the hive and you see something that you don't understand, you've already got the book there and you can reference it and try to figure out what's going on. So number one rule in getting started with beekeeping is do your homework, do your research before you get started. And I just, this is kind of, like I said, this is kind of the intro to this little video series I want to do. And the reason I was prompted to make this is because, like I said, I absolutely love when people call me and ask me questions. I'd rather that than they don't ask questions and they just let problems get worse. And on that note, the problems will always get worse. I've had countless people call me because they were trying to start up foundationless, or they went and did a cutout or something, and now they got all this crooked comb and cross comb. And they're scared to cut it loose because they don't want to damage all the hard work that the bees have done. But you have got to cut it loose. You've got to fix that immediately. If you don't, it only gets worse. The bees are not going to tear down comb they've built on their own to try to fix a cross comb issue. They're happy just the way they've got it. So you've got to get in there. You've got to fix stuff like that. But yeah, more importantly, I get some people that call me repetitively or text me or whatever, and they ask me very, very basic questions. And I'm not trying to call anybody ignorant. I'm not trying to say they don't know what they're doing. Again, I prefer the questions over not the questions, but at some point, you gotta do it on your own. I certainly love talking about bees and love teaching people about bees, but just please don't text me and ask me what the queen looks like, or text me and ask me how to tell the difference between a drone and a worker. Just little things like that. And I'm not saying that that's happened, but those are just examples of very, very basic questions that really could happen. Certainly if it's something odd going on, your bees are washboarding, for example, you've never seen that, sure, shoot me a text or give me a call, whatever, and explain what's going on. Number one thing to do, though, once you have your bees, before you call me or any other beekeeper and ask a question, is you need to do an inspection on the hive. You need to get in there, look at what's going on, and see if you can figure it out yourself first. You send me a picture of a cluster of bees on the front of your hive and say, what's going on? I can't tell you. That hive might be hot, that hive might be wanting to swarm, that hive might be washboarding. They might just feel like hanging out on the front landing board, So you need to get in there, do your inspections, and understand what's going on, or at least be ready to give a really good explanation. If you do texting, if you can take pictures with your phone, certainly take a couple high detail pictures of the frames. That always helps. If you think you've got issues with your queen and a brood pattern, or you've got, you think you're seeing a bunch of queen cells or something like that, certainly take pictures of what you don't understand. I can do a lot of diagnosis just from looking at pictures. So, certainly I always tell the people that have bought hives from me, I tell them, call me, ask me questions for free, that's fine. But if you want me to come out to your place and help you do an inspection, I'm going to charge you for my time, if nothing else, to come out there, because the fact of the matter is I've got plenty of my own hives to take care of that I'm behind on myself. So, if I'm going to have to come take care of somebody else's hive, I've got to make it worth my time. So, again, not trying to get off topic, which I always do, so I've succeeded, I suppose. But, this is just, like I said, the introduction, beginning beekeeping. Number one rule beginning beekeeping is do your homework. Make sure at least you think you know what you're up against, and be ready to run into some things, obviously, that you're not sure about. But that's why you need to have your references, have your books online. Another great resource that I really like is BeeSource, and that's the online forums. You can get on there, and as a guest, of course, you can get on there and just read what everybody else is saying. But if you do actually want to ask questions, like any other forum, you've got to register and become a member. But that's a great, I got on BeeSource, and honestly, I started reading about bees at least 6 months before I actually got my first package. Probably closer to 8 months when I started reading. And by the time I got my bees, I was confident enough in what I had read and what I understood that I was answering other people's questions on BeeSource, and I didn't even have the bees yet. It was just, I'd read a lot. Maybe I overdid it. Maybe y'all don't have that much time. I was lucky at the time, the job I was in, I had a lot of time to read. But, again, the fact of the matter is, do your homework, do your research, and, be ready. So when you get those bees, you're not scared to get in there. You're not scared to open the hive. You're not scared of what you might find. You're ready to get in there and get after it. And I promise you, you will enjoy it, and you will be successful if you just do your homework.